If you have $1,000, bro, just gamble it 10 times right. And then you're a millionaire, bro. This is how I became a millionaire.
Gambling is not entertainment.
I had a $2 million house, which is a pretty good situation. Coin flipped the house and it's gone. I called my mom and was like, yo, mom, I gambled away the house. And she was like freaking. I was like, oh, mom, sorry.
It is a tax on your inability to perceive probability.
I can contain myself while gambling like an adult.
Some days I'd wake up with $60,000 in my bank account, and by 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd be negative 500.
Every spin, every hand, is a transaction in which we exchange a predictable amount of money for a predictable amount of time. Is that feeling that the next moment might be the one that rewrites everything. That pain inside your head.
There's this sense of relief when the money's gone. I can't even gamble anymore.
That feeling is the product, the suspension of the knowledge that you lose. There are two deaths in gambling. The first is the death of attention.
To come home from work and see my 2-year-old son and be present with him and not have anything clouded in the back or anything hanging over my head.
Each bet consumes a small unit of your capacity to be present elsewhere. A child's question unanswered, a half-listened conversation, a moment of silence filled with the anticipation of the next spin. These moments gather, and they cannot be recovered. The second death is the death of your memory. The gambler does not remember their losses as a sequence.
And your brain is remembering that night at the Wynn where you were up 500 grand. I'm going to do that again, Mark. I'm going to do it again.
The brain, to protect itself, stops encoding the repetitions of loss. The result is a black hole in the story of the self. Ask a gambler what they did last Tuesday. They will not know, because they were not there.
I would probably spend 75% of my day gambling. It just completely consumed everything.
They were busy chasing the feeling of the chase, the bright moment when the future was not yet written, and the next card could be the one.
I am never fucking gambling ever again in my life since day one.
How do they stop? That is the wrong question. The right one is what they are willing to remember. To stop gambling, the gambler must confront the truth. The year's loss were not an investment, but the addiction protects itself by making this confrontation unbearable.
Bro, do you think a gambling addiction is real, or is it just made up to not make people financially free?
Most people are not addicted, they're just not dedicated. Like the thing is, I'm not addicted, I'm dedicated. That's different.
So they continue to avoid the mathematics of what has already been sacrificed. The past is too painful to examine. Examination requires stopping. Stopping requires examining the past. These are the things the gambler is running from. If you're one of them, the only way to stop is to sit in the silence you have been avoiding. Well, good luck.
58% of 18 to 22-year-olds have already dabbled in sports betting. 10% of young men aged 18 to 30 are officially considered problem gamblers.
The screen flashes, the reels almost align, and the brain registers a win that did not happen. This is what I call precision, because the house has calculated the exact ratio of hope to despair that maximizes the duration of your stay. In other words, they are not making money by making you lose. They make money by keeping you hooked long enough. They own the clock. The most powerful cages are the one we believe are games.